The World Cup Sevens, which will be played in Cape Town, is weeks away between the 9th and the 11th of September. Now, to get an update on how preparations are going so far, we've roped in two people who have been very busy in the lead up to this tournament, making sure that everything is running as smoothly as possible. We do have joining us on Zoom Andy Cahoon, and joining me in studio is Cahoon Duvenage. Andy, let me start with you. Now, we've seen how, in terms of live matches starting, we've seen a lot of people attending the matches in different sporting codes, and after seeing a sold-out signs for the Springbok matches, how is the interest for this upcoming tournament, and how are the ticket sales going so far?
It's going really well, Basiwe. Thank you for the invitation. No, it's just 3 weeks away. You're making me nervous. So we're getting excited. We're getting ready to sevens in Cape Town. Tickets have gone really well. We sold out the publicly available tickets in the first 24 hours when they went on sale in February. But if there's anybody watching who wants to go to the sevens and they're concerned they can't get in, good news is that we've had tickets returned from some of our partners. So there are tickets available for all 3 days. But we are looking forward to a fantastic sellout occasion. I think we've all seen what happens in December when we have Cape Town sevens, and now very different experience for having the world coming to Cape Town, the world coming to South Africa. So we are ready, and we're looking forward to pretty much sellouts on all 3 days.
Oh, that sounds absolutely fantastic. Cahoon, let me come to you now. As a long-standing partner of SA Rugby, we know that it was quite difficult during the COVID times. How did you manage to navigate that, particularly not being able to give your offering that you've always had to those that would ordinarily be part of or want to go to a Lions tour?
Yeah, I think as SAB it was an exceptionally difficult time for us over COVID, and not being able to connect with each other in the stadiums was very difficult. And I suppose you can see with the Lions tour, with the incoming series now, just how excited South Africa is to be back in the stadiums. And I personally can't wait for sevens, which is so much about what goes on off the field, just as much as it is what goes on the field. So
Indeed.
Really can't wait to get South Africans together into the stand and really, as Castle Light, bring the gees and bring the enjoyment back.
I love how you say bring the gees and bring the enjoyment back. As we talk about that, what can fans who are actually able to get their hands on tickets expect in terms of the offering?
Sure. Well, I think inside the stadium, it's all about the dress up. It's all about the fans. It's all about the support that we bring the Blitzbokke and all the teams joining us. Just outside the stadium, there's also the first ever fan park, which will be brought to you by Castle Light, which is all about the food, the drinks, live entertainment, live acts. I personally can't wait for the fan village as well.
And of course, as you speak about the live entertainment that's going to be there, we know that Springbok fans are just a variety. It's so diverse. I'm assuming that you will be catering, of course, for that diversity in terms of that entertainment.
100%. And I think South Africa's got exceptional talent that speaks to and entertains everyone in South Africa. So we're definitely making sure that the lineup's going to cater for the whole of South Africa.
And of course, we do still have Andy Cahoon joining us on Zoom. Now, Andy, talk us through some of the challenges that you've experienced trying to prepare for the sevens tournament that is upcoming, and how you've been able to navigate around those.
Well, the big challenge for Siwa in the first case was understanding what was going to happen with COVID. So we were very concerned that we wouldn't have a tournament at one stage. Then we were concerned we'd only have 50% capacity. But as Cahoon has said, thankfully we're now back to 100% capacity. And now for me, the Cape Town sevens, the sevens in Cape Town is just, it's a party for 50,000 friends with some rugby attached. And that's what we're delivering now. But you're right about the challenges. It is, the world has changed. Airline travel has become much more difficult. If you follow the news, you've seen the issues in Europe and around the world with getting flights and getting into the country. So to get those 42 teams from 32 different countries, China, Germany, Chile, Jamaica, from all over the world into Cape Town has been a challenge. We're then fighting the Cape Town weather. We need well-prepared training ground pitches. We've had some rain down here. So we've got lots of operational challenges, but overall, everything is going along pretty well. And we're now just really counting down the days to get those teams arriving. There's a big tournament in Los Angeles this weekend where the Blitzbokke are playing. That's the end of the World 7 Series, and then the teams are going to start arriving from next week.
Indeed. Now, I know Cahoon has already touched on some of the fan experiences that will be available at various locations. Perhaps just talk us through that a little bit more in terms of just the detail of where those various locations are going to be. Are they just going to specifically be in Cape Town, or are you aware of other locations around the country where there will be those viewings?
There's going to be large screens in some of the shopping centres around South Africa. We're hoping and planning so that people can get access to the game. Obviously, in Cape Town, as Cahoon has said, the fan village is the first for us, so that's going to be a new experience for the supporters. But I think we've seen it now that people do want to share the experience. They do want to have the joy with their friends, and we do expect that that the pubs and the shebeens around the country will be pretty packed during the Sevens as the Blitzboks and our Springbok women take on the best in the world.
Indeed. Now, Cahoon, of course, we've mentioned how you have been such a long-standing commercial partner of SA Rugby. Talk us through that process of how you make the decision of who you want to partner up with from a commercial point of view, because I can assume sometimes it can be very difficult if the results on the field aren't exactly what you'd like them to be.
Yeah, I think as a business, SAB has a wide portfolio of brands, and the different brands sponsor different sporting codes. Castle Light chose the Sevens because it is about the fans as much as it is about the game on the field. And I think luckily for us, our South African, the Blitzboks, are coming off a win at the Commonwealth Games. So that's really exciting to be a partner in a tournament like this where we do stand a good chance. So fingers crossed for our boys.
Indeed, we are crossing fingers for our boys, and we've come to expect so much from them. Now, Andy, let's talk about, from your point of view, how important are the commercial partners that you have, and just maintaining those relationships irrespective of what's happening in the field of play?
No, it's absolutely critical, and Castle and South African breweries, Castle have been fantastic partners now to South African rugby for more than 25 years. We do bring lots of people who like to drink beer to events. So I think the Cape Town Sevens in December is the biggest beer selling event in South Africa in any calendar year. So we're good partners. We hold hands, and we celebrate these fantastic occasions when people come together. But to your question, to your point, no, the sponsors and partners are absolutely critical to the preservation of sport in South Africa. It's expensive to run national teams. It's expensive to run rugby programs, to develop players, and without the commercial partners, we would be nowhere. We wouldn't have the Blitzboks now if it wasn't for partners such as Castle Light.
And you speak about partners such as Castle Light. Let's talk about how you always want to also involve the different communities around the country in terms of growing the rugby brand in South Africa.
No, it's absolutely critical as well. The Castle have been involved in the past with putting up remote viewing parks during World Cups and events like that to spread the word of the game. And they leverage our properties as well. SA Rugby can only do so much to promote what we do, but with brands like Castle Light behind us, talking about the event, getting out into the shebeens and into the community, promoting their sponsorship, it really does help us grow the game and grow the experience.
And Cahoon, just as I close off with you, just on what I was discussing with Andy, just in terms of maintaining that relationship with the various communities around South Africa, the importance of that, because sometimes people always look at SAB and liquor brands and say, well, it's liquor, but really you do so much more than that in terms of bringing people together through sport.
I think so. I think to Andy's point, sport is such an amazing opportunity to bring people together and to talk about something more than just the fact that it's an alcohol brand. It really is about bringing communities together. It's healthy activity, and really being able to support South Africans across a various array of sports. So personally, sponsorship is a very amazing part of the job, because it does do more than just beer sales.
No, indeed. Thank you so much, of course, for joining me in studio. It is Cahoon Duvenage, and on Zoom we did have Andy Cahoon, really just talking about the Rugby Sevens tournament that will be taking place in Cape Town. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It will be from the 9th until the 11th of September, and I can assure you that that's something that you don't want to miss out on, especially given how the Sevens rugby teams from South Africa have been performing. And I mean, we also did have them in studio a while ago, really just showing us their trophies and what they've been able to achieve. If you want to be part of that, it is from the 9th until the 11th of September.